Welcome to the Intern Show.
I'm Elias Alvarez.
And I'm Max Schwitzing.
The Intern Show is a podcast produced by the KAWC Student Newsroom. We aim to broadcast news by students for students.
In this episode of the Intern Show, the Student Newsroom explores life beyond Earth, and we dive into student concerns about immigration. But first, some news.
The Arizona Department of Education has launched a public webpage listing which school districts and charter schools are complying with federal guidance on diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. While the guidance does not yet carry the force of law, it warns schools that noncompliance could lead to the loss of federal funding or legal action. State Superintendent Tom Horn has voiced opposition to DEI, calling it discriminatory, but said he will follow federal instructions to take no enforcement action for now. Most Arizona districts, 551 out of 658, have complied, even as some court cases continue to unfold.
The Arizona Western College District Governing Board approved a preliminary budget for fiscal year 2026 that focuses on student success and aligns with the college's 2028 strategic plan. The budget directs funding towards initiatives such as early college access, prison education, experimental learning, and the use of emerging technologies. College leaders emphasized a student-centered approach while maintaining a conservative financial strategy in response to shifting federal funding. The final budget will be considered for adoption at the board's May 8th meeting.
Northern Arizona University held its annual undergraduate research symposium in Flagstaff, featuring over 1,300 students and 650 presentations across various disciplines. The event highlighted NAU's commitment to hands-on learning and celebrated its recent R1 Research Institution designation. Projects were evaluated by 257 reviewers, including industry leaders and community members. NAU leaders emphasized the importance of early student involvement in research to build essential career skills and foster innovation.
It's interesting to hear more about this kind of research students are doing across the state.
Yeah, especially because now we get to see kind of the hands-on experiences that they're going through just following their careers that they're hopefully planning to follow through for the future.
Especially from NAU, because I know, personally, a lot of people in my classes sort of talk about, U of A and ASU as, the leading innovators for Arizona. But hearing that sort of NAU has been recognized as the R1 research institution and being able to hold symposiums like this one is pretty cool.
Yeah, especially because it's not just to show off students, but also to kind of get them involved in research right before it just happens around the world or wherever they choose to go.
Exactly.
In this week's Flash interview, a student receives wisdom from an unexpected source.
Welcome to the Flash interview. Could you please introduce yourself for me?
Sure. My name's Raydini.
Hi, Raydini. Are there any interesting class assignments you've had recently?
Yes. So in my mythology class, a while back, we were doing a section on the Buddha, and our teacher actually pulled up ChatGPT, and we got to talk to the Buddha through that.
Okay. What did Buddha tell you?
Not gonna lie, it was actually super wise, and a lot of people quoted it ever since. I think I have them written down somewhere, but just on life in general and how to just enjoy little things and just his story and giving his personal experience. It was so relatable in such a Twilight way.
Do you find yourself talking to ChatGPT more now because of that?
Honestly, yes. I'll ask it for book recommendations sometimes if I'm looking for something super specific. And then I'll have a little mini conversation no, I'm looking for more so this. And then it will give me exactly what I want. And I'm like, oh, thanks.
Thank you so much for joining us, Ray.
Of course.
That was AWC student Raydini Aguirre talking about her communion with AI Buddha. Astronomers found evidence that a planet over 120 light-years from Earth may harbor signs of life. Student reporter Max Schwitzing learns more on the impact of potential life beyond Earth.
On April 16th, astronomers from the University of Cambridge announced their findings on planet K218b, an exoplanet orbiting the red dwarf K218. They captured chemical signatures they believe could be an indicator of life. Now that the research is made publicly available, other researchers are skeptical of their findings. Northern Arizona University professor of biological and natural resource sciences, Dr. Francisco Villa, believes this could change our understanding of what life is.
We propose that if this happens, or is this true here, and there's these other exoplanets in all those zones, it's also possible for them to be maybe harboring life. And so maybe we aren't the only ones left in this universe or galaxy.
Dr. Villa says our preconceptions about life may not apply to life forms beyond Earth.
As we come over and over again, we are looking for life as we know it. The bigger question is, what if we come across something that just doesn't fit our definition because we just haven't been exposed to it? And like, how do we know that that's a new life?
The search for life outside our planet persists as researchers across the globe analyze the findings of K218b. From the KAWC Student Newsroom, I'm Max Schwitzing. Colleges and universities across the U.S. have identified at least 1,680 international students and recent graduates whose visas have been revoked by the Trump administration, Inside Higher Ed reports. This week, student reporter Elias Alvarez spoke with students about their concerns regarding immigration, focusing on one student who opened up about her own experiences when crossing the border.
As of 2023, Data USA reports that 61.1% of Yuma's population is Hispanic, with 25.1% of them having been born outside of the United States. Many families here have deep roots on both sides of the border and can be personally tied to immigration issues. Students say that many of them are taking precautions and even fear that they may be rejected when they or their parents file to renew their residency. Saji Bárcenas, a first-year student at Arizona Western College, says she's not concerned for herself but rather her classmates, and how difficult it is to see them live in fear when they step out of their house.
Lo veo más con compañeros que he tenido a lo largo de mis estudios, en donde ellos ya corren riesgo, más que nada, en cuanto están saliendo desde su propia casa. Es tan difícil verlos con un miedo a la hora de salir de su casa.
And she said that she notices that her fellow students have even taken precaution of always having their documentation on hand.
Eso lo veo normalmente cuando tenemos que ir a la tienda o que van a ir a comprar alguna cosa o incluso en plazas, ya se le nota a las personas ese temor de que en cualquier momento puede pasar cualquier cosa si no es que tienen sus papeles a la mano.
Bárcenas is a U.S. citizen. She was born in Illinois but was primarily raised in Tijuana, Mexico, making Spanish her first language. Because of this, her family members have cautioned her to also have her documentation on hand in case she isn't believed.
Incluso algunos compañeros o familiares, como saben que soy nacida de este lado, pero hablo español principalmente, llegan a comentarme que debo de tener todos mis documentos a la mano por en caso de que no lleguen a creerme acerca de que soy ciudadana.
Bárcenas has followed this advice, and she said that she always has a type of documentation on her, whether it is her school or state ID, and sometimes even her passport.
Todos los días normalmente cargo con mi identificación de la escuela, con mi identificación del estado, a veces hasta con el pasaporte por en caso de emergencia.
However, Bárcenas isn't just looking out for herself. She is also keeping an eye on the news to keep her fellow students informed.
E incluso debo de estar al pendiente de las noticias diariamente para que pueda informarles a mis familiares y compañeros acerca de lo que está sucediendo actualmente.
She also said that even when she crosses, there's a difference in how the guards behave towards her now than how they did before, being more strict and less empathetic.
Ahorita ya son más fuertes en el aspecto de que piensan que tienen la autoridad suficiente y no se ponen a pensar de forma humanitaria desde la perspectiva del migrante, desde la perspectiva de quien tiene el pasaporte, quien tiene la visa de turista, y en verdad a veces hacen que pasen un mal rato.
Bárcenas stated that she feels that she is judged for speaking Spanish sometimes, but she is proud of both being Mexican and of being American, and that it is unfair that the way she is treated changes when it is known she is also a U.S. citizen.
Es como si te juzgaran desde un principio. Y como dicen, no juzgues a un libro por su portada. Tampoco digo de que ser mexicana sea malo, no. Al contrario, me siento muy orgullosa de ser mexicana y también me siento orgullosa de ser americana. Pero me parece muy injusto que haya ciertas reglas donde si saben todo el contexto es como ya cambia todo.
And she also emphasized the need for empathy and understanding, not just from Border Patrol guards or officials, but from society as a whole.
Antes de que sean autoridad, que sean policías, que sean el trabajo que tengan. Antes de eso, somos seres humanos y nos debemos de tratar con equidad, con un cuidado en cuanto a nuestra persona.
As the national conversation about immigration continues, it's important to remember the human faces behind the statistics. And for many students here, their voices are not just ones of concern, but of hope for a future where they can live without fear. From the KAWC Student Newsroom, I'm Elias Alvarez. The Intern Show is produced by the KAWC Student Newsroom at KAWC Colorado River Public Media.
Send your questions or comments to Student Newsroom at kawc.org.
This show is available as a podcast or online at kawc.org under the KAWC Shows tab.
The KAWC Student Newsroom is supported by the local news initiative at the Community Foundation for Southern Arizona.
Since 1980, the Community Foundation for Southern Arizona has been a trusted philanthropic partner, helping individuals, families, businesses, and nonprofits work together to create a stronger community.
Our theme music is Election Time by Kjartan Abel. The Flash Interviews music is Funkmeister by Theo JT. Both are available at freesound.org.
I'm Elias Alvarez.
I'm Max Schwitzing.
Thank you for tuning in to
The Intern Show.